So, some of the haters out there have been saying for a while, Jack, why have you always got to get into drama with other YouTubers? Leave it, it's boring. So, we've kind of stopped that, and instead, we've gotten into beef with an A-list celeb. Well, I say A-list. We've gotten into beef with a celebrity. We've gotten into beef with Ellie Goulding. Haven't we? I have no idea. I have no idea how this has happened. And by the way, when I say we've gotten into beef, mainly me, you've done very little. And to be fair, I wasn't going to make a video about this because I don't think it's worth it. And I still don't. But then TPM does go in December and I could do with a so... Hello guys, how are we doing? It's me, JaackMaate, welcome to the channel. Yeah, so anyway, long story short, this week I've got into a bit of a Twitter spat, as some folks are calling it, with the singer Ellie Goulding. And as I was just saying, I don't think it's much of a story to bring you guys, but a lot of you seemed interested in it. You've probably seen it pop up on my Twitter and my Instagram. You can follow them, by the way, please. I need this, I really need this. You've seen the story pop up on Twitter and Instagram, and a lot of you seemed bothered by it. And not just you, scumbags, newspapers did as well. This is something that made the news multiple times. Let me show you. So all I'm going to do is go to google.com. That sounded like an ad. Google.com. Why would Google need to promote themselves on a JaackMaate video? Guys, ever heard of Google? It's the next big thing. Keep your ear close to the wall. It's popping off. Oh. And as you can see, we've got articles from the Metro, Capital FM, and the EDP, which is the local newspaper here in Norfolk, in Tutbutt. The EDP went with Norwich YouTuber in Twitter spat with Ellie Goulding. News. This is news. Norwich YouTuber in Twitter spat with Ellie Goulding after calling X Factor performance dreadful. Capital FM went with Ellie Goulding gets into a heated Twitter spat with YouTuber JaackMaate. That annoyed me a little bit. All the other articles, I'm first billed. Can you be first billed on an article? I don't know. And then the final one, and my favourite title, is by the Metro, that went with JaackMaate and Ellie Goulding have got beef and everyone is confused. Everyone's confused. Like Theresa May's even taken a minute from Brexit to be like, have you heard about that JaackMaate? That you and Ellie Goulding? Yeah, apparently they got beef. I'm so confused. Anyway, let's fuck up the country. And obviously this wouldn't be a JaackMaate video if I didn't dissect every kind of little bit of the beef and give you my opinions on it. And because it is very much a nothing story, like let's say it's a nothing story, I thought it'd make it a little bit more interesting if I discussed this with some YouTuber friends of mine. Yes, we're talking about I'm Alex again, can't get rid of the cunt. And Stevie. And an actual talented YouTuber that I really like called Niko Omilana. So in a minute, this video is going to switch up and bounce into a happy hour podcast. As a lot of you guys may know, that's my new podcast that I do with those guys. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I really like it. I do actually want to just take a quick moment just to say thank you very much for the support on the series. I've tried a lot of series during my time on YouTube. A lot have failed. 1,500 quid on a neon sign, which I never use. Only done 4 episodes. And it's still on the wall. The landlord's gonna fucking kill me when he finds out. I've done a lot of series and a lot of them have failed, but I really feel like this podcast has just gone from strength to strength and a lot of you guys have really got behind it. I guess there's not much to say apart from thank you. Thank you for enjoying the content. And thank you to me for finally cracking the code and working out what works. YouTube drama. Who would have thunk it? She replied saying it would be over in seconds. Not really worth airing. And I mean, if we're going to talk about things that are over in seconds, should we talk about her relationships with Calvin Harris, Greg James, Niall Horan, Ed Sheeran, Skrillex, Dougie Pointer? The list goes on. There's plenty of them out there.
Oh no!
Oh, did you tweet this? Did you tweet this?
No, I didn't tweet it.
No, it's just on the podcast. Jingle.
Other beef this week, and I never ever thought I'd be saying this, is I'm involved, obviously. But
You knew you'd be saying that.
yeah, this week it's not with another YouTuber, it's actually with Ellie Goulding.
This started about 3 years ago.
There's history.
It was very small. About 3 years ago, you said her performance on X Factor again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You said her performance was shit, which it was, which is a fair statement. She replies by saying she'll beat you up, which
I thought it was a very weird response from Ellie Goulding.
Yeah.
Like, she could come at me for loads of things. Like my YouTube channel was dead it's like dead now, but it was dead in the water back then. Like there was so much she could have come at me for, and she actually just said she'd hit me, which I found obviously amusing.
It'd be embarrassing because she'd win.
Yeah, and she probably would because I couldn't hit her back. Yeah. Well, I could run.
But, yeah, it wouldn't be allowed.
I could run. We could just do the podcast, How Could I Kill Ellie Goulding?
We can't.
We can't do that.
We can't.
Because then if anything was to happen...
Yeah.
If she dies between now and the time this podcast is released, I've got nothing to do with it.
Okay.
It'd be almost too obvious if she died now.
But if it happens afterwards...
Then, yeah, it might be me. I'm not saying it's.
I can't look that far ahead.
Well, let me give you a little bit of lowdown on the beef because I think it's funny. Yeah. So obviously slagged her off on Twitter 3 years ago. She replied going, "I could fight you and win. That's embarrassing." And last night she was on the X Factor again, and I think she's like, obviously, like the world that we're in, I'm especially myself. I moan about things for the sake of moaning sometimes. But with Ellie Goulding, I really cannot stand the way she sounds because I think she sounds very like breathless.
No,
like
I've hated her since the moment she
hated
released...
as a strong
No,
word.
no,
I
literally.
just want her dead.
From the second she re-released Elton John's Your Song,
Yeah.
it's a little bit fun. Like that voice went through me.
Yeah.
I love that song. She ruined it.
Yeah, it's like she's trying to be so British and quirky and a bit Birdie. Do you know Birdie?
No.
You know Birdie, Skinny Love.
No.
Oh, Birdie by an actual artist.
Yeah.
I thought
Birdie
it was a
is the
term. I have
artist.
no idea who Birdie is.
Yeah, no.
Now Birdie's okay, but
We're
it
way
doesn't
too
matter.
young for that.
So anyway, last night she was on again, and I filmed like a video of X Factor. And I'm very aware that a lot of you think I'm a miserable bastard, right? And that I just slag people off for the sake of it. But I will tell you this now, hand on my heart, I think that Ellie Goulding is the single shittest female artist out there. It always sounds like she's out of breath. Break up because we said, it actually infuriates me. I don't know if it's healthy to get this angry over Ellie. And somebody called Harry posted a tweet, tagged myself and Ellie in it, and said, "Screw KSI v Logan Paul 2, Jack versus Goulding is what the people want," which I think would get fair few views.
Those diss tracks.
Yeah.
I WhatsApped you. I was like, if you do not do a diss track with Ellie Goulding, you are missing out so much. Because imagine if you can actually get Ellie Goulding to reply.
Oh, that would be incredible.
You'd still win.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't reply to it. I saw the tweet come up. I didn't reply. Ellie Goulding did. Literally 20 minutes after she's just performed on the X Factor. So she's backstage.
She actually got off the X Factor and she was like, "It's been 3 years. Let's see what Jack's doing." She fucking knew.
She replied saying it would be over in seconds, not really worth airing. And I mean, if we're going to talk about things that are over in seconds, should we talk about her relationships with Calvin Harris, Greg James, Niall Horan, Ed Sheeran, Skrillex, Dougie Pointer? The list goes on. There's plenty of them out there.
Oh no!
Oh, did you tweet this? Did you tweet this?
No, I didn't tweet it.
No, it's just on the podcast.
Yeah.
Jingle.
There's actually a website out there that's dedicated to listing her relationships.
Oh wow.
Like, there's lots of pages.
She's like
Why?
the British Taylor
a lot
Swift.
Of failures on there.
Yeah. Oh mate, I didn't even know she was with Greg James. Prince Harry is another one.
What?
They were saying apparently she was banging that. I respect it though, because gingers need love. And so I replied to
That's
Ellie
what he
Goulding.
actually wants.
Oh well, I'm covering it up this week, Alex. I replied to Ellie, and who said she just said she could knock me out. So I went a bit cliche. I went 3 years later, and Ellie Goulding still reckons she can knock me out. You're not wrong, Ellie. Just tie me to a stool and make me listen to your tunes. She then replied, and this is where she shot herself in the foot. Yeah, she replied saying, "Oh, basic response from a basic twat." So I thought, this is my the word basic. I then replied, getting called basic from somebody whose top lyrics are, "So love me like you do, love me like you do, love me like you do."
Sang like that as well.
And we're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. I love it how it's written down.
I prefer you to release this. You'd sing better.
Let me continue. We're gonna let it burn, 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 burn. Can anyone guess the
And
I
we're
don't think I
gonna
can.
let it
burn, burn, etc. I'm not a guy that really buzzes over. No, that's a lie. I am. My response got 11,000 likes. She got 800. She deleted her tweets. Fuck you, Ellie Goulding.
And
There
then,
you go.
then I tweeted out saying that you two should have a fight, and then somebody else replied, and then she replied again.
She's got a lot of time in her
She
hands.
replied to a lot of the replies.
Yeah.
Like she was actually just called someone cute for saying it should happen.
I reckon if I ever got the chance to perform on the X Factor, which I don't think I'm not.
I'm not sure
holding
if
my
that's
breath
coming.
for. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath for. I reckon straight after performing, I wouldn't have the time to go on Twitter and reply to the trolls.
No, because you'd be just stressed over how shit your
But
performance
maybe that's
Yeah.
exactly what she did. Maybe she did that performance, saw Simon hated it, and straight away went to Twitter to see, oh, did people like it?
Oh yeah,
Ends up talking to you.
sees me on there. Yeah, but again, she weren't just replying to verified people; she was replying to scum as well.
Okay.
Like-
I should have tweeted her.
But yeah, that's the beef. After the break, we'll be talking more to Niko about his channel and all the people he's winding up.
There's breaks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's money on here. Okay, where's the payment, man? Where's the payment? Give it to me.